Demolition Derby Man Utd 0 Man City 3. Red Devils embarrassed by bitter rivals in fiery derby thriller as deadly Haaland bags brace. Erik Ten Hag's side have lost half of their Premier League games this season. It was a day when Manchester was united in tribute, but divided by a bloody great chasm in footballing class. After both sets of supporters had joined forces to salute the late Sir Bobby Charlton, Manchester City's modern footballing greats embarrassed their shambling mid-table hosts. Erling Haaland netted twice and laid on the third for Phil Foden, but the Norwegian would have had 5 goals of his own but for a hat-trick of outstanding saves from Andre Onana. Pep Guardiola was only being honest when he claimed that United had not been his team's greatest rivals during his 7-year Etihad reign, and the gap between these two clubs is only getting wider. Erik Ten Hag's side have now lost 5 of their first 10 Premier League matches, and the Dutchman has seen his side regress badly after the Dutchman's promising maiden campaign. Guardiola's treble winners are still 2 points behind surprise leaders Tottenham, but it will be a shock if they don't record a 4th straight Premier League crown and a 6th in 7 seasons. The pre-match tributes to Sir Bobby were as classy as you'd expect. 6 United and City legends of the 1960s were in the center circle for a minute's applause, and a giant Stretford end which proclaimed Sir Bobby as the finest English footballer the world has ever seen. City's supporters joined in with the applause, but soon started reminding the home supporters that they were champions of Europe and that Old Trafford is falling down. Guardiola had made some feisty comments before this, stating that Liverpool have been his side's greatest rivals, and that United would never dominate again as they had done under Sir Alex Ferguson. Still, the derby itself had proved a great leveler, United having recorded 7 victories over Guardiola's City in as many seasons. Onana had been the injury-time hero with a penalty saved to deny Copenhagen an equalizer in the Champions League on Tuesday, and he was at it again after 8 minutes of the derby. Rodri's lofted pass picked out Kyle Walker, who nodded back for Foden to head goalwards, but United's Cameroonian keeper pushed it away, and then recovered to scoop the ball away from Haaland with the Norwegian ready to pounce. Onana pushed away a Grealish shot, and the only time United's fans were roaring in the early stages was when Harry Maguire won a mighty duel with Haaland. City had certainly been on top, but they went in front in strange circumstances when VR Michael Oliver spotted a tug from Rasmus Højlund on Rodri as United defended a free kick. It was hardly clear and obvious, more the sort of thing you'd see from most attacking set pieces. But once Oliver, the senior man, had sent Paul Tierney to his monitor, the ref pointed to the spot. Haaland rolled into one corner as Onana dived for the other, and City were in front. United's occasional threats usually came from loose City passes, such as the Foden effort which led in Højlund, only for John Stones and Ederson to combine and send the Dane too wide for an effective finish. Maguire and Diogo Dalot got into a horrible tangle which threatened an own goal, and Bruno Fernandes cleaned out Jack Grealish with an aerial challenge on the touchline. Before Sofiane Amrabat and Foden were both booked for a rutting contest. In injury time, Marcus Rashford's instinctive angled pass located Scott McTominay, who controlled, swiveled, and lashed a shot which Ederson palmed wide. But the half ended as it had begun, with some Onana heroics as he made an astonishing stop to push out Haaland's point-blank header from a Bernardo Silva cross, an effort which had shades of Gordon Banks and Pelé. McTominay had been operating as a no 10 in the first half, but was shoved back to a deeper role when Mason Mount replaced Amrabat at the break. It didn't make the blindest bit of difference because within 4 minutes City had doubled their lead with an absolute peach of a move. Passing and moving with pace and murderous intent, Rodri found Julian Alvarez, who switched it to Grealish, who fed Bernardo for a left-wing cross for Haaland, who headed it beyond Onana. United had been stretched by City's passing to such an extent that Haaland was unmarked, which would not have been in Ten Hag's master plan. Grealish twice went close to making it 3-0, one shot pushed away by Onana and another whistling wide across goal. Just when the gulf in class was beginning to look ridiculous, Christian Eriksen reminded us that there was also a bit of quality in the United team. His brilliant diagonal pass from deep released Rashford, who shot wide on the turn. Still, normal service was resumed when Grealish slipped a pass to Haaland, who attempted to chip the advancing Onana, but was thwarted by another fine save. Ten Hag was booed for withdrawing Haaland in favor of Alejandro Garnacho, with the ineffective Rashford moving to center forward. But when Rodri let rip from outside the box, Onana could only push out to Haaland, who unselfishly squared for Foden to poke over the line.